Let's bring on the Mountaineer. Goes around about the 50, the 10 to 5. A touchdown with Virginia. He did it. He did it.
Left with White. Peterson. He's gone. Touchdown. Tavon Austin.
As the hills of West Virginia resound with the sounds of Golden Blue football.
They want to have a 7-on-7 drill. We want to make it a fist fight. Nothing cheap, nothing dirty, but West Virginia football.
From the heart. Streaming. It's Mountaineer pride. Leave no doubt tonight. No doubt. They shouldn't have played the old Golden Blue.
West Virginia is a special place. People are the state that have great pride in this WV logo.
Ain't no stopping the Golden Blue.
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Welcome back into another CRW live stream here on the Country Roads webcast channel. And there we have it. West Virginia's bowl opponent finally revealed. Took some time there. I think the ACC was, stretching it out as long as they could, announcing where their bowl teams were going to go. But West Virginia will play UNC in Charlotte in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Both these teams going for their 9th win of the season, coming in 8-4 overall. UNC finished 4-4 in the ACC. West Virginia 6-3 in the Big 12. They're going to match up on December 27th, 5:30 kick there, televised on ESPN. And it's going to be on ESPN Plus as well, I believe. So we know West Virginia will face UNC now. That's finally revealed. Would love to hear your all's thoughts on this matchup, West Virginia's bowl draw. Anything else you want to talk about throughout here, be with you guys for the next little bit. We'll discuss this bowl game or anything else that pops up along the way. Got a few pieces of information that I want to share in regards to this bowl game that have come out. And the first one we'll lead it off with is the kind of weird but awesome, I guess you can say, Duke's Mayo Bowl announcement video of West Virginia UNC being the teams. If you guys haven't checked this out yet, it's on their social media, but I will share it. Whoops, hit the wrong button there. Bring that back up, and I will share it with you guys. So there was the reveal video from the Duke's Mayo Bowl side of things, revealing the Mountaineers and the Tar Heels. Let's take a look at the official release, just recently released over on the university's official site there over at WVUsports.com. Pulled this up, and we'll read through it with you guys. I haven't checked it out yet, but pulled it up and had it ready for us to look at together here. As you see, there's the graphic announcing it, as I said, December 27th, 5:30. In Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium there, where the Carolina Panthers play. West Virginia and North Carolina play in Duke's Mayo Bowl by Mike Montoro. The Charlotte Sports Foundation announced today that West Virginia and North Carolina will face off in the 22nd annual Duke's Mayo Bowl. The game will be played December 27th at 5:30 p.m. We are excited to share the selection of West Virginia and North Carolina for this year's Duke's Mayo Bowl, coming from Danny Morrison, Executive Director of CSF. These two teams have amazing fan bases, and we are confident this matchup will provide a compelling game and memorable experiences for fans and players alike. This marks West Virginia's 40th bowl appearance, including 19 bowl games in the past 22 years. this is the third meeting between the two schools, all in bowl games, with each one winning once. So the rubber match here. First meeting took place in 96, Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. UNC won that one. And then, of course, the most recent meeting taking place at the same stadium here in Charlotte back in 2008 for that Meineke Car Care Bowl. I was lucky enough to be in attendance of that one. That was a fun one to watch. More on that later here. Got something I want to bring up in regards to that to close out the stream here. WVU 2-2 overall in ball games played at Bank of America Stadium. Third time WVU's played in the Charlotte-based bowl game, winning 31-30 against UNC in the Meineke Harker Bowl back in 2008, dropping a contest with Virginia in the inaugural Charlotte Bowl in 2002. The Mountaineers also split a pair of regular season games in the stadium, defeating Tennessee most recently back in 2018. Probably that's the last time that we played in the stadium, 40-14, and then losing to East Carolina 30-23 back in 99. We look forward to hosting two great college football programs in West Virginia and North Carolina as they represent the ACC and Big 12 in this year's Duke's Mayo Bowl, said Joe Tuza, president of Duke's Mayo. We love bringing fans together through one of our favorite Southern traditions, college football. In addition, we know what will be some great football. We'll be creating some memorable experiences for the team's devoted fans and the city of Charlotte at the Duke's Mayo Bowl, the only bowl with twang. When available, information on tickets in the West Virginia allotment will be released separately. So I'm sure there will be some over on the WVU game site here in the coming days. Fans are encouraged to follow at WVU Football and at WVU Sports on social media and visit the official site here, WVUsports.com, for the most up-to-date information on that. But in regards to that, I do want to share something from the North Carolina side. But before I do, if you want to go ahead and get a jump start on your tickets and not wait until they come out, from the WVU allotment, I know some people want to wait for that, though, so they'll be sure they're amongst WVU fans. But I did see, if you go to the official Duke's Mayo Bowl site, which is charlottesports.org is where you can find it, or you can just Google search Duke's Mayo Bowl and it'll come up there near the top. They now officially have UNC WVU on there, and they now have the tickets link there. You can get directly on the page there if you want to get a jump start on that. So did want to share that. But then I do have a little bit of information from the UNC side that came out. I'll share here momentarily. And then one interesting tidbit, of course, that I wanted to talk about as well. But appreciate you guys that have hopped in here live. I see Timothy Green in here. Anyone else that's in here live, appreciate you as well. Encourage you to share your thoughts on West Virginia's matchup with UNC, their bowl game draw, or anything else you want to talk about there in the chat. Won't keep you guys too long, but did want to come back here and do another live stream because I said I wanted to do one once the bowl opponent was announced. So now that we know we'll be playing UNC, wanted to talk about that. Take a swig of my water, catch up on a couple of these comments, and then talk about some information coming out from the UNC side. Of course, this is basically just to, touch on the announcement with you guys, get your all's thoughts, chat with you guys briefly. And, of course, over the coming weeks, we'll have plenty of in-depth information coming out about this matchup once we learn a little bit more about this UNC team and things like that. Of course, we'll have the bowl game preview podcast over the next couple of weeks, but definitely wanted to talk about the opponent a little bit now that it had been announced, and a little bit of information about who may or not be playing, and pull that up here in just 1 second. Timothy Green says he thinks this is a winnable game for us. For sure, I think so as well. I know UNC's defense this year left a lot to be desired, and I think West Virginia's offense is, probably more explosive than some of the offenses that they struggled to stop in the ACC this year. And then, of course, the status of some of their players is up in the air as well. About to talk about that here momentarily, but I think it's winnable as well, Timothy. He says, let's go Mountaineers. Thinks this will be a good bowl game. It's kind of like a home game for them. Yeah, that's the downside. You are playing UNC in Charlotte, but, of course, we did beat them last time we played them there. Can only hope their starting quarterback does not play. You must be reading my mind, Timothy. Perfect transition into exactly what I wanted to talk about. Of course, the best player on the UNC roster is Drake May, probably. He's got NFL aspirations, but they also have a very good player on the defensive side in Cedric Gray. And the interesting thing about this bowl game is that both of their statuses are up in the air. As you see here, this coming from the Inside Carolina, their 247 sports site. Wanted to touch on this a little bit. West Virginia is 2-2 in football games played at BOA. The Mountaineers lost to Virginia. And then, of course, the most recent one beating Tennessee. Just mentioned that. Mac Brown, though, get the coaching matchup of Neil Brown versus Mac Brown. Mac Brown is 15-11 in postseason games. During his second stint in North Carolina, the Tar Heels have dropped 3 straight bowl games. since beating Temple in the 2019 Military Bowl. They have lost to Texas A&M in 2020, South Carolina in the 2021 Duke's Mayo Bowl, and lost last season to Oregon in the Holiday Bowl. And then here's what I wanted to really bring up here, talking about that starting quarterback for UNC and then talking about one of their star defensive players as well. This time around, UNC's bowl game might mark quarterback Connor Harrell's first career start in college. Star quarterback Drake May has an NFL decision to make, and as one of the top prospects in next draft class, it's likely he could decide not to play in the bowl game. And inside Carolina's Taylor Vivopoulos first reported a week ago, UNC standout linebacker Cedric Gray, the two-time All-ACC first-teamer, is not expected to play in the Tar Heels bowl game this season as he begins to prepare for entering the NFL draft as well. So it looks like UNC could be, playing without their starting quarterback and without their standout linebacker as well in this game. Nothing official on the quarterback for sure. The linebacker sounds like may definitely not be playing, but nothing official on Drake May. But I think a lot of people are not expecting him to play. West Virginia may very well be facing Connor Harrell in his first career start. So maybe that's something going in West Virginia's favor. You got a few things going in UNC's favor, obviously, kind of the home field advantage, if you want to call it that. But as mentioned with Timothy there, UNC's defense struggled some this season, so that's advantage West Virginia. And if Drake May's not playing, that's a lot less than I'm worrying about this game, I think, because if Drake May was playing, could be a very interesting matchup, because when West Virginia has faced good quarterbacks that are very good at picking apart zone coverages this season, they've struggled, and West Virginia's defense has struggled, and the opposing offense has done very well. Think of the game against Oklahoma for one, a little bit of the game against Houston also, and Drake May certainly has that type of capability. So I think if he's not playing, that's definitely a positive for West Virginia in this game. So we'll see what happens the more that this progresses, and once further news comes out about that and it becomes official whether he's playing or not. At this time, seems like it's leaning towards Drake May not playing, and seems all but certain that linebacker Cedric Gray may not be playing for UNC as well. So definitely wanted to touch on those things a little bit there. And then I know I mentioned the matchups of the Coach Browns there, and I thought this was a funny tweet from the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Wanted to share this as well. Saw it while I was loading up here. We're big fans of Coach Brown, they say. And, of course, could mean either one there. Pretty funny tweet there from the Duke's Mayo Bowl that West Virginia will be playing in here on December 27th now, and we know that they're playing against UNC. So wanted to come on here just for a brief moment and detail the bowl opponent now that it was detailed, and we know that it's the Tar Heels. West Virginia playing the Tar Heels in Charlotte, 2 8-4 teams battling for their 9th win here a couple of days after the Christmas season there. Timothy says, I watched your replay from earlier today. It was very good. Appreciate that, Timothy. You're always very good to chime in with some awesome comments yourself there, and appreciate you, and appreciate anyone else here that's tuned into this live, or even if you're watching on a playback. And if you are doing that, be sure either way, hit the thumbs up button, give us a like. Really helps, not only this video's performance, but future videos performances on the channel as well. And if you're a WVU fan, Big 12 fan, college football fan in general, be sure to subscribe to us here. Helps us and you, helps get more of this Mountaineer sports content out to Mountaineer Nation, and there'll be plenty of it coming here. Basketball season progressing on, and tons of content coming up leading up to the bowl game, including recruiting coverage with signing day coming just a week ahead of the bowl game. Actually, it's on the 20th, so exactly 1 week ahead of West Virginia's bowl game. We'll be here doing a signing day special throughout that morning for West Virginia signing day. So if you're not subscribed to us here on the Country Roads webcast, no better time here than throughout the month of December. Going to be a fun month, recruiting season heating up, both transfers, and then of course signing day approaching, and now West Virginia's bowl game coming up here to end the month, where they'll take on UNC in Charlotte. Should be a good turnout of West Virginia fans there, and I'm excited about this matchup for West Virginia. Hopefully they can end the year with a 9th win, finish the year in the top 25, and really go into next season with a lot of momentum. But the last thing that I wanted to share with you guys, I talked about it a little bit earlier. It mentioned in a couple of those articles, from the WVU side, the UNC side, and I think the Duke's Mayo Bowl guys even mentioned it as well. Last time that UNC and WVU played was in a bowl game, and it was in this exact stadium that they'll be playing in, the Panther Stadium there in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was called the Meineke Car Care Bowl then, back in 2008. Pat White's final game as a Mountaineer. But the most interesting thing that I thought when I looked this up, because I just wanted to look it up and see, but it's pretty crazy. Check this out, guys. Obviously, you all probably remember the game. West Virginia wins at 31-30. Pat White, 332 passing yards. Really put on a show there. But this is what's interesting. Check this out. Look at the date that the bowl game was played on that day. December 27th, 2008. West Virginia and UNC played in Charlotte in the Meineke Car Care Bowl in the Panthers Stadium. Now, here we are. 15 years to the day they'll play again. December 27th, 2023 in Charlotte in the Panthers Stadium. So I just thought that was pretty cool. Exactly 15 years to the day they'll be matched up again in the same stadium. So hopefully history repeats itself, and this time it comes out in West Virginia's favor yet again. But I thought that was pretty cool. Had to share that with you guys here. But appreciate you all that tune into this live, or if you get a chance to watch it on a playback, appreciate that also. But plenty of more content coming out in regards to this bowl game, and plenty of more content coming out throughout the week here from us on the CRW. You're going to have a CRW Hoops podcast coming out in the next couple of days. And like I said, looking forward to talking more about this bowl game and WVU recruiting as we progress here through December. Hope you guys have had a great Sunday. Hope you're as excited about this bowl game matchup as I am, and looking forward to this month of December, all the West Virginia football topics that'll come up along the way. And, of course, getting the bowl game at the end of the month as well should be a fun one. Excited for it, and hope we end the year with a 9th win and ranked in the top 25, guys, with a win down there in the Duke's Mayo Bowl in Charlotte at the end of this month. Appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, I'm Jordan Cruz. And until next time, let's go Mountaineers.